Alright, here we go again. We're gonna be doing another Infect stream tonight. Was gonna go play some Modern tonight, but once I saw it was snowing, I decided to stay in and take advantage of the All Access token again. So we're gonna pull open my deck list. I don't think I'm gonna change anything from last night. I built Merfolk. Where are we at? Okay, there we go. Just in case. I was going to also run a Merfolk League, but I might not really have time for that. I might only do one tonight. So we're going to go, not the blue-green version. There we go. Same as before, considering another Sylvan Library or something over the Guy's Blessing. Guy's Blessing is just pretty good. I don't know if I mentioned it last night against Painter Servant and Grindstone, I think just to buy a turn or two, so this way they have to find a Soul Guide Lantern as well. But I'm gonna see. I think I'm gonna leave it in just in case. Painter did pretty well at Eternal Weekend, which is what I'm basing a lot of my last known information on. So we're just gonna go do a Legacy League. I'm gonna do play points. I wonder if leagues pay out in tickets if you spend tickets. I'm gonna do play points though. All right. I think I have to go like this. Yeah. It's been a while. I'm hoping my office closes tomorrow and I don't have to leave the house. I'll have to work, but it'll be kind of nice to not have to drive anywhere in the snow. I really wish they would do All Access more often so I could just play more MTGO rather than anything else. Hello, gamer. How are you doing tonight? We're playing a little Infect. And I'm going to be sitting here wishing I had Tropical Islands and Forces for the Legacy event this coming weekend that I will not be going to. I have something else to do that day, but I also still kind of wish that I had the resources to be able to go and play Infect there. I guess not a lot of people playing tonight. We got a 4-1 yesterday with Infect, so, and I think it was a pretty winnable loss. That was just a mistake on my part. I think I miscounted once, and I also didn't bring in the plows when they were a much more creature-focused deck than what I had kind of thought. It was kind of a stacks deck, like a Lodestone Golem stacks, with cards like Nettle Cyst and Phyrexian Metamorph. Yeah. Infect's tough, too, because you need 4 Tropical Islands, and then the Savannah if you're playing the plows. Plows and the Catherines. Catherines in paper. At least I have those. They came down a little bit since Eternal Weekend. They spiked. But, again, not on here. Kind of hoping we can get a 5-0. Or do something with the Guy's Blessing. It'd be kind of cool if the Guy's Blessing could come into play. I know. And you can't really even kind of nibble around the edges and play 3 drops. You could, but I think it's a lot worse than 4 drops. You're just so liable to get wastelanded off the 3. And you need them for the dazes and the everything. And just the fact that they're some of your only mana producing lands. Okay, so we won the die roll, so we're going to go first. What do we got here? We got an Infect creature, double Berserk, which is pretty good, actually. It's very low permission, but I get to lead on Noble Hierarch. I'm going to keep this. I don't really want to go to 6, especially when this hand is pretty good. It's pretty playable. A Ponder or a Brainstorm or something I think will really set this hand up a little further. Give me a little more ability to figure out what I'm doing. But this is a turn 3 kill. Turn 1 Noble, turn 2 Blighted Agent. Turn 3 they should be dead with Embig and Berserk. Even if they have blockers, I can double Berserk. Okay, so it's going to be my turn. I'm going to play the Tropical Island. I'm going to make a green, and I'm going to play the Noble Hierarch. And I'm going to yield to the end step. All right. Let's see what they're doing. Drawing a Legolas here would also be really good because it means I can play the Blighted Agent and hold a protection for it. Probably a little more important. All right, we got another Ancient Tomb deck. A lot of Ancient Tomb decks on MTGO right now. Or at least from what I've played against. Played against 2 last league. The start seems kind of slow. At least for what I'm presenting. Alright, so there's the Legolas. Legolas is a lot less important here against something like this. So we're going to play the Foothills. Ooh, how do I undo? Undo. Okay, we're going to make a blue. And then we're going to play the agent. Ooh, okay, so they're a blue. All right, so now my hand is a lot worse. I can... Okay, so that's going to be fine. Can I kill them anyway? What did they pitch? A Dream's Grip. Okay, so they're a Twiddle Ring combo deck. I think I saw this in some of the dumps. Alright, so we're going to go, it looks like I've only got 1 land. Brainstorm. Alright, so that's great. If I draw another pump spell, I think I can kill them with double Berserk with Noble Hierarch. Because right now, Noble Hierarch attacks, pumps it to a... Exalted makes it into a 1, and Biggin on it makes it into a 4. Berserk makes it into an 8. Berserk makes it into a 16. So if I brainstorm here and find a Noble Hierarch, I think he's dead. Or if I find another pump spell, I think he's dead. Or an Infect creature, I think should be able to kill him as well. At least the following turn. Okay, so we got an Infect creature, another Reflexes. I think what I'm going to do this turn is put the Agent back, the Reflexes on top. I'm going to use the Noble Hierarch, play a Glistener Elf. I think I'm going to put the Reflexes first and put the Blighted Agent on top of that in case they kill or answer this Glistener Elf. And that I need another Infect creature. I don't think they're going to be able to kill it, though. But I want that agent directly on top, just in case I need to immediately play another one. Because I can shuffle at the end of the turn. Okay, great. So they must have missed their land again. All right, so... Force of Will, Dream's Grip kind of thing going on. So we're easily bringing in these Force of Vigors. I want to keep the Berserks in. They're an Ancient Tomb deck, so I think it's just going to be another clean switch off of Dazes against this Ancient Tomb Manifold Key kind of deck and into this just for Force of Vigor package. I don't think Force of Will in their deck is really going to make me want to bring in something like Veil of Summer or Flusterstorm. Fluster might be pretty good against the Twiddles, so I think there's some sort of argument there. It's also good against the Forces, so I'm kind of interested in those. The Reflexes seem pretty poor here. I don't want to go too low on green cards, so I might leave 1 Reflex in case they board into some amount of creatures or they're starting to make Saga tokens. And I think I'm going to bring in Sylvan Library as well because this matchup might slow down post-board. And if I'm going to board in all these pitch cards, I think I'm going to want some way to have a little bit more selection and a little bit more ways to go up on cards if I'm going to be spewing them so hard. Hello. Is the mic a little quiet? Or am I a little quiet? Do I have to... I'll have to figure that out. Let me move some stuff around. Maybe I can move the mic a little closer to me. That might be better. How's that? Is that better? Do I have to play with the gain? All right, so what do we have here? We have a Brainstorm and a Sylvan Library and a Noble Hierarch. There's no threat, but the library is pretty good, especially in a matchup like this where I can pretty freely pay life. I think I'm going to keep it just entirely off of the Sylvan Library. It's kind of dangerous because if they Force of Will the library, I'm kind of in trouble, but I do have a Brainstorm to bail me out. So, you, what about me? I think I'm going to keep off of the Sylvan Library. You what? Me what? Am I too loud? Am I too loud now? Okay, so we're gonna... deck looks sick. I think Infect is good in the meta right now. I agree. I really like Infect in general, but I also do think it's in a pretty decent spot. I think some of the new cards it's gained over the last 6 months are really good, and I think it can only gain more cards. Force of Vigor is really good here. All right. I don't know how good it's going to be against something like the Ring because it's indestructible, but we're going to go play this Noble early. I'm going to pass from there. You weren't too... You were too quiet. Not loud. Okay. Am I better now? Am I less quiet now? Alright, so they're playing 2 Surprise and Scaries. So this lets them play a Ring on turn 3. And they're not exposing themselves to anything with Force of Vigor. Alright, so we have an Invigorate, so all we need is a threat now. I'm going to... I'm just going to be paying life with this. So I think I'm going to play the Pendelhaven here. Green. Green. We're going to play a library. You think so? Okay, great. So this lets me hold up Brainstorm off of this Noble in case they play a Ring and I need to find Force blue card. They're probably going to end up keeping the Ring, though. And the protection they're going to gain is not going to matter a lot, because I don't have a creature to attack with anyway. Alright. So there's an Urza's Saga. And they just conceded. I don't know why. Maybe they just didn't think they could keep up with the library? Okay. Anyway, we're going to go to the next match. Oh, great. I'm glad. I'm glad it sounds so good. Thank you. I wasn't sure how it was going to sound. I didn't do any... Like, I just tried to kind of record myself in my room and see how I could play with the gain and make sure it wasn't picking up too much sound from outside the room, but I'm glad it sounds great. Yeah, where's my deck? Yeah, here it is. And the only cards I'm missing in paper are the Force of Wills still, the 1 Savannah, and the Trops. Ooh, okay. There we go. Okay. I am on the draw. This hand is 5 lands, Brainstorm Elf. I do have a shuffle effect. I think this is going to be way too slow. It's pretty threat heavy, though. If they mulligan, I might keep it just to be up a little bit on cards and have a Brainstorm. I can kind of trade this Glistener Elf with a removal spell early. They're mulliganing to 6 cards. Okay, so now I actually have to make that decision. Excuse me. So what are we going to do? What is my ideal way for this to go? So I have a turn 1 elf. I can just turn 2 them. I'm going to be able to put a land in play every turn. I think I'm going to Brainstorm the Savannah back at the very least. I have 1 Savannah and 2 Trops. Okay. It's like you're standing next to me. If only. You stayed home too tonight? With the snow, you didn't go to Modern? I think I'm going to keep this. I think this hand's super risky. This Brainstorm's going to be pulling a lot of weight, but I also get a draw step because I'm on the draw. So I'm going to use this Verdant Catacombs, or I'm going to use the Windswept Heath, and I'm going to go get a Tropical Island, play my Elf, and then I'm going to use the Brainstorm to put back Savannah plus another card. Unfortunately, I'm busy this Saturday, so I can't actually go. We made plans that day because I didn't think I could go anyway. All right, there's Catacombs. It also saves me from the drive all the way out there and the entry fee. But if you end up going, good luck that day. Let me know if you need anything before that. Okay, a Daze. That's pretty good for me here, I think, because I'm going to be able to protect this elf. There's not really much to protect with it. Hopefully I don't get stifled here. Catacombs find a UC. Stifle me. Alright, so we're going to get a Tropical Island. We're going to tap, green, put this Glistener Elf in play. If they decide to fight over the elf, I think I'm going to let them have it, because I have these Ink Moths as backup. Oh, you're all super sick? Yeah, we were sick here for a decent amount of time over the last couple months. Legacy this Friday, and yeah, great. Okay. I think that's what I'm going to order next. I want to get nice Glistener Elves. Alright. The Imperfect Brainstorm. The turn 1 end step Brainstorm, my favorite thing to see. Are you still going to be playing the same Jeskai list this coming weekend? Catacombs. Are they just going to try and Bowmaster my elf here? Oh, yeah. We're all on the tail end of all the sickness and everything, too. I think I'm getting better finally with everything. Are you going to go for the... Yes, I'm going to go for the Phyrexian everything. Okay, so they're evoking a Grief. They're going to take the Daze. My hand is super soft to this, but also really resilient because they can only take the 2 kind of spells here. I'll make them decide what they're going to take. I'm definitely not dazing this. And they're probably going to reanimate it and have a very fast clock. Or not fast clock, but 3 damage is 3 damage. Way too much fun casting Comet. Alright, so here they're going to take the Daze just so that I don't even have the option. Oh no, they took the Brainstorm. Maybe they only have... Maybe they're not going to bother reanimating. Because the Daze is going to be so ineffectual. But yeah, I want to get the Phyrexian Secret Lair with all of the... Oh, they are going to reanimate it. I don't think I'm supposed to Daze here, actually. I think I'm supposed to just keep all my mana in play because my hand is double Ink Moth. So I'm going to let them do this. Yeah, I'm going to get the Phyrexian Lair, so this way I get Phyrexian, Glistener Elves, Blighted Agents, and Ink Moth. And then the other 2 cards kind of can just sit in my box. Alright, so yep, you can have the Daze. That's fine. Benefit of having this very land-heavy hand is that I'm pretty resilient to the choices they're going to make with the Grief. The bad side is I only had 2 cards that were able to be taken, and now I have nothing. And I have a Misty. So we're going to play Ink Moth. And I'm just going to yield to my end step. I'm not going to attack. I could attack, because then if they block, they have a significantly slower clock. They have 2 cards in hand. I think this Grief is going to be on blocking duty, though, for a little bit. Because I don't know necessarily if they win this race now that I've played an Ink Moth. So I don't think I'm going to attack into it, because I think it's going to be blocking anyway. If they decline to attack, then I feel like I'm in a better spot than kind of looks. Especially since I have 2 backup creatures. Okay, upkeep. This game's going to be long as well. So I think I need to play a little faster to maintain clock. because right now my mechanics with the game, with this platform, are super slow and super bad. So I'm going to need to kind of keep it up. If they attack, I think it means they have a Bowmaster. Okay, so I need to draw a Pendelhaven here. Because if I draw a Pendelhaven, I can attack with the Glistener Elf. If they play a Bowmaster, oh, Petal? Okay. What are they going to do? Play another Grief? They might be just playing second Grief here to increase their clock speed. Okay. Well, I have only spells, or only lands, no spells. So they're empty-handed. That was everything. Kind of weird to see a Lotus Petal in this deck, but okay. Gonna go to my turn. I am gonna attack with the Glistener Elf here. I can't block it because these creatures have Menace. I'm gonna try and race them out. So let's see if I can draw. Okay, Force of Will is not really what I want to see. I'm gonna make sure I animate the correct Nexus here. Newly controlled, so we're gonna make mana off this one. We're gonna make this one into a guy. Combat. I will attack with the Glistener Elf here. If they block, their creature's smaller. I can't block anyway. They're at 2. I think this kind of favors me. If they draw a Wasteland here or any removal spell, they're in a good spot. I think their worst draw is a land. Okay. I think Force of Will might have been my worst draw. Because if I drew... Days might have been pretty poor as well. Alright, so they're not doing anything, so it makes me think that that's a removal spell. Noble I don't think is worth playing. I think it's just better for me to play Savannah, double animate, attack in for 3. So we're going to animate here. We're going to animate here. Attack with everyone. Put them to 5. This makes any pump spell live. They're going to attack, put me to 4. They don't have a Bowmaster in their hand, otherwise they probably would have used it there. Or maybe not. They would have used it at my end step. Because I think that makes the race favor them. Alright, so we're going to go to 4. And step. Okay. So we drew Pendelhaven. That's still a little shy. I can play the Pendelhaven and use it as a pump spell. I can play the Noble Hierarch as a blocker. Okay, so I can play the Noble Hierarch, animate the Nexus, attack, pump it with Pendelhaven, get in for 3, use Noble and Glistener Elf to double block a Grief, take 3, go to 1, and I can attack with Pendelhaven Inkmoth the following turn to get my last 10. So we're going to play Hierarch, Pendelhaven. I will animate Nexus. Hold on. I'm going to float colorless here because I don't want to mess up this kind of layering. They know about Catacombs Misty. They don't know about Force. I think I tapped wrong too. I think I should have animated with the Tropical Islands. So now if they use an Orcish Bowmaster here or something on this Nexus, I would have been able to float mana, animate the other Nexus, attack still in for 2. And then potentially give myself the out to draw a Noble Hierarch. So I think that was wrong. And there's no point to put the Exalted trigger on the stack here. Okay. Because I still have to... I can't let it resolve. Otherwise the Pendelhaven won't work. Alright, so here we are attacking for 3. We have a double block up. If they have a removal spell for one of my blockers, it is what it is. I can't really do anything about it other than have kept a different hand on turn 0. Okay. I'm hoping they've just drawn nothing for 3 turns, but I think that's fairly unlikely. So they're declaring their attackers. I think they're going to do something before I'm allowed to block. Passing priority. We're going to double block here. There we go. I'm kind of excited to start seeing spoilers for the new set tomorrow. I like the detective, the blue-white detective, who can activate to do a Sphinx's Revelation. I think that card's really cool. Block. Yep, block like that. Gonna go to 1. Means I can't use any of these fetches, but I have 5 mana sources here, so could be doing a lot worse. Oh, so they're at 8. They're gonna go Brainstorm? Careful Study. Okay, so this is like a Reanimator variant. So that makes the Lotus Petal makes a lot more sense. So they're not going to have any removal, so they must be trying to reanimate something here. Archon of Cruelty, which will just kill me if they have Exhume. Animate Dead. That's going to be good enough. I'll concede to that. Bummer. Okay. What do we want here? We want Veils, Flusters, and I think we want Plows. And I don't think we want the Blessing. I don't think we want the Library. I don't think we want the Forces. So what are we going to end up cutting? Weirdly, a matchup where Reflexes is kind of good as removal, but I think the Plows are going to overtake that. So we're going to cut all of those. I don't really expect them to bring in something like a Fatal Push. Yeah, I'm hoping... The standard is pretty good right now. I'm hoping that there's like some amount of modern playable cards. I know there's one card that's going to put poison counters on the opponent, I think, for each clue you sacrifice. It's going to be like 2 counters for 1 clue. I don't know how good that's going to be or how expensive it's going to be. It might be kind of pushed a little more for Commander, but we'll see. Going to leave in the Dazes. This is a matchup where I like the Glistener Elves. This is a matchup where I like all my Infect creatures still. I don't really want to cut anything. And... what are we cutting? Maybe I don't want the Plows. Maybe this is more of a don't let it enter the battlefield rather than try and answer it afterwards. But they could have a Dothy Voidwalker or Orcish Bowmaster kind of juke going on. Maybe I just want to be on the play and not have Plows and just kind of be as aggressive as possible. We're going to go with that. I'm just going to bring in the Flusters and the Veils. If I can win this matchup without any graveyard hate with only Flusters and Veils, then I'm going to be a lot better. I feel a lot better about not having any Surgicals. All right, so this is turn 1 Elf and Fluster plus Force. So I'm wondering if I want to hold up Fluster plus all these, or if I just want to put the creature into play. So I'm definitely going to keep. I think I'm going to play Elf, though, off of my Savannah, unfortunately. I wish it was a Trop. I don't really want to use the Verdant when I have a Brainstorm in my hand as well. I want to keep my options open a lot more for this. So I think I'm just going to lead on the Savannah. Yeah, I think that creature's name was Alquist Proft. He's like a 3-mana 3/3 with Vigilance, ETB Investigate, and he has tap and pay for Sphinx's Revelation to Sphinx's Revelation and sacrifice a clue, which I think is really cool. I really like just the design overall. I don't know how good it'll be and if it'll make a... do I want to... I don't even think I'm going to bluff Daze, to be honest. Because they're going to play around Daze with like Dark Ritual and Lightning Bolt anyway. Makes me think maybe Daze is not good enough in this matchup. Maybe I'll take it out on the draw and bring in the swords. So we're just going to play the Elf Pass. Ooh, they're on 5 cards. So this makes me think maybe I should have led a little more conservatively with holding up Fluster. I have the Force of Will, though, so... And I'm going to be able to get in for 2. So I'm going to have a 5-turn clock against their 5 into a 6-card hand. Still not looking great, I think, for either of us. This might be a little bit of a messy game. Delta. Blue-black Reanimator. Okay, Petal. 4 cards in hand. They're going to unmask. No, I think they're just getting stuff out of their hand. Okay. So I didn't get punished for not holding up Fluster, which is really fortunate for me. We're going to play Noble here. I'm going to be able to still have Fluster up. Then I'm going to go to combat. Attack. I'm going to hold the Invigorate here because it's a little less important right now because it's not going to kill them, and I don't think my Glistener Elf is under too much duress that I need to fire off the Invigorate here. Sorry, I plugged my headphones in. My new headphones don't really hold a charge. Okay. Underground Sea, Petal, Upkeep. So every pump spell kills them from here. So they're going to Entomb. I'm going to let them. I think they might be getting an Archon. Get a lot of things here. They get an Atraxa, Gristlebrand. Okay. I guess Archon I'm pretty insulated against because I can just sacrifice a Noble Hierarch. So there they go. They're fetching with the Catacombs. We've cast 1 spell this turn with the Entomb. And they're going to be reanimating Gristlebrand. Okay, so they can pay with a Dark Ritual. So I think I don't really want to force here and get rid of the Brainstorm. Because I can use the Brainstorm the following turn to dig. Draw another blue card, I can pitch that instead. I'm going to, I think if I Fluster here, it's going to be Fluster for 3. They can pay with Lotus Petal Dark Ritual. And then I have to Force of Will anyway. I don't really like that. So I think I'm going to... But they have so much mana now. So I think my Fluster is just getting a little dead anyway. So we're going to get a Tropical Island. We're just going to Fluster here. Because if they Dark Ritual pay, they're pretty low on resources then. They're going to have only one card in their hand and only so many draws. Alright, end step. Go to my turn. I'm not going to play the Glistener Elf because I only need the one. I'm not going to Brainstorm yet. I think I'm just going to attack. I want to be a little safe here because I can still just immediately lose. Also not going to Invigorate here. Okay, main, end. All right. Another land. 1, 2, 3. Are they just going to Grief for a blocker? Grief for a blocker. So I will Force of Will this because now they are dead the following turn. We're going to pitch this card. So now I'm going to get 1, 2, 4. That's going to be all 6. Go to my turn. I don't want to miss my window to do this. I'm going to cast it anyway. If they snuff out me, they snuff out me. Because the Invigorate's getting cast regardless. Alright, there we go. It's going to be 6. Next game. So, I still don't think I want the Plows. I think it's better against their Grief draw. But I think I just have to continue to go with this. So I'm just going to submit again. After playing those games, I'm not really high on Plow either way. Okay, so what is this? We have Force Daze, Pump Pump. We have 1 Infect creature, but I can use... So I can play Ink Moth turn 1, turn 2. I can play Misty and get to hold up Daze plus theoretical blue card I draw. The Ink Moth is really slow. So I don't really want to mulligan because they're also a Grief Reanimate deck. Double Invigorate is just really, really, really tempting. Because you only have to get in 1 attack. And if I draw a Glistener Elf, then I think I'm in even better of a spot. Force only Daze is my blue card, though. Double Invigorate's a little iffy. There's the Savannah again. What do I want to do here? How much better can a mulligan be? I don't really think that much better because I already have Force blue card. So I think I'm going to keep, and I have a Nexus. I think I'm going to lead on Misty. Careful Study. I'll let them have that. I think I'm going to lead on Misty so I can have Daze live. They don't do anything here. If they make me Force, then I will lead on the Ink Moth and attempt to draw a 3rd Invigorate. Okay, so they discard Archon Bone Shards. I'm really hoping to just draw a blue card here, like a Ponder. Okay. Another land. So I think I'm going to lead on the Misty, so I have the potential to Daze. And I might be able to set up a turn 3 if I can draw something like a Pendlehaven or just another pump spell. But I think I want to be able to make both my cards live, potentially, instead of kind of forcing myself down into only using 1. I'm hoping they want to use a 2 mana reanimate spell, and that's all they have. Alright, so a basic swamp. Because I'm pretty up on cards. Okay, yeah, so this is pretty bad. So I think I'm gonna get killed. The Ink Moth is pretty good against Archon, though. I'm gonna let that resolve. I don't think there's a benefit to forcing here. I'm definitely wishing one of these other cards in my hand was a blue card. Because now if they have a 2-mana removal spell, they just take the daze. If they have a 1-mana, they just take the force. And this daze is going to age really badly. I had a lot of draws here, I think, off this instead of this Catacomb. Because if I had another pump spell, then I could have led with an Ink Moth instead. And then I would have had triple pump spell to threaten just killing them, and then they have to take at least one of those. So they took the daze, so I think they have a 2-mana removal pump spell. Or not pump spell, reanimate spell. So I'm expecting something like an Exhume. Animate Dead. Okay, Animate Dead on Archon. I wonder if I should have brought in Force of Vigor. Probably not. This would be a nice spot to have a Beseiju, though. Discard a card. We're going to discard... I guess Savannah. And they get a card. They're on 3. Maybe I should have just discarded the Force of Will, but I have so many lands in combat. And they know my entire hand now. Trop. So we're going to play Ink Moth. I'm going to get attacked. I'm going to go to 9. I'm just going to hope that they don't do anything to my hand further. I'm going to be discarding the Verdant Catacomb here because I have the Tropical Island now. This lets me draw something like Berserk. Bone Shards is a sorcery, so I'm pretty safe on my turn. If they begin to attack with the Archon as well, they can't block the Ink Moth. So I don't think they're going to win by blocking, though. I think they have to start just kind of limiting my resources and trying to find another way to reanimate something for themselves. Yep, so this is fine. We're going to discard this Catacomb. Just discard a couple lands they know about. Hopefully they don't know about the Tropical Island yet. Oh, my bad. I didn't realize I was still in the declare attack step. Main. Okay, so they're going to look at my hand again. So I can draw Berserk. This is where I'll draw the Feel Bad Veil of Summer. I think they're going to take Invigorate here. Okay, so I need to draw Berserk. Not it. So, what can I do? Can block Archon. Play Ink Moth, animate Ink Moth, block Archon. Take 5 total. Give myself another shot to draw Berserk. Looks like another grief. Okay, that's fine. So they're going to take Invigorate here. If they take Force, I think I still have a shot. I think they're just going to take the Invigorate. Yeah. Now I have no shot. Okay, so I'll concede here. We'll go to the next one. It was close. Some of the hands I kept might have been a little weak, especially game 3. I think the double pump spells just were a bit of a trap. Ugh. I don't think we played Reanimator last night. Okay, here we go. Alright, I lost the die roll again. This hand is nothing. So we're going to be mulliganing this. I'm not really looking for triple and big and invigorate. So we're going to mulligan. And we're both on 6 right now. This is a little better. I think I'm going to put an Embiggen on the bottom. This hand isn't bad otherwise. Got a couple cantrips. We have a turn 1 play. We have a daze. I'm going to keep. And we're going to put this on the bottom. Upkeep. Island. Ponder. Okay. What are they going to do? Not shuffle. Alright. Combat end step. My turn, draw a card. Alright, so we got an infect creature. That's pretty nice. It's one of the ones that goes really well with Embiggen as well. Because Embiggen will give Inkmoth +5/+5 instead of +4/+4 to the other two. Because this is an artifact, land, creature, Phyrexian Blinkmoth. So, has one more type. Delta. I'm wondering what I'm playing against. Maybe it's Show and Tell? Okay, it might be Scam. Which my permission's pretty bad against, I think. Okay, so it's just a Bowmaster's. I think I'm going to daze this. And let myself get dazed back, which is kind of a bummer. Oh, it happened. Okay. I didn't expect that. So I'm going to get to go into this turn with 2 mana. I didn't really want them to have double blockers. It might have been fine, but I also don't want to lose the Noble in this hand that is a little less explosive. Okay. So what do I want to do here? Do I want to get the infect creature down? Do I want to... Well, I have Force of Will now, too. So I think I want to play the Inkmoth. I think I want to ponder first, actually. I'm going to ponder. I'm going to look for a Glistenerol for something else going on. Because I need to use the ponder now. I'm not going to be able to use it too easily later. And because the Inkmoth is so mana intensive. So we're just going to ponder. Alright, so we got a Blighted Agent, another Ponder, and a Force of Will. Is this good? It's a lot of blue cards, which I think is going to be kind of beneficial for the Force of Will. So I'm going to put Ponder on the bottom, Force below that, Agent there. I'm not going to shuffle. I will play Inkmoth here. And now that I know I have Force Ponder down there, I can kind of force with Brainstorm, keep the agent so I have redundant threats. Wasteland. So they're going to waste the Inkmoth, so I have to keep the agent now for sure. Brainstorm is fine. Now that I have an unblockable creature as well, the Bowmasters are a little less dangerous. I'm wondering if I should have not fought over the Hierarch, but I really like having the mana creature in this matchup. We just need to get through this part of the game where we're kind of jockeying to see who can put a threat on the table. Next turn I'm going to be playing Trop Agent. Fortunately, they're not fatal pushing me here or something like that. Blue, green, agent. Great. Swamp Cycle, that's fine. So they got Underground Sea. They might have needed that land since they aggressively wastelanded me the previous turn, which I don't disagree with. There's that sea. Paying costs. Ponder. That's fine. I think one of the better cards for me to draw here would be Legolas. From what I've heard, that is one of the better cards for these kind of Delvery matchups where they're trying to adjust these Delvery and also the control matchups. I need the fair ones with a lot of removal that lean on that in order to fight you. Bowmaster, this one I think I have to force. I'm going to force pitch the Brainstorm, draw the Ponder off the top. So we're going to do this. Going for the pump spell there because now that they're tapped out, I can kind of go a little unimpeded. I'll let them Brainstorm. I was planning on leading with a Ponder there to try and kind of cinch this kill and find something like another pump spell or a Berserk, but I'm valuing kind of keeping the Bladed Agent in play, so I'm holding the Ponder for the force. I need 2 more attack steps to get there with the agent. Wasteland, target Trop. We're going to float a mana. This is me attempting to play around a daze in some amount. So now I have 0 lands. Second main now. Play another, what's it called? Orcish Bowmaster. Reanimate on the Bowmaster. I kind of thought they might do this at some point. I am already kind of in this much for this kind of a play. Now, if this is the time when I get dazed, it's going to be over. But I might just be able to stay just enough ahead. Zero in hand, I think the best draw for me here would be Legolas. Ooh. Stalker's going to be really tough because they're going to be able to untap and they're going to be able to kill the agent if I don't have something like a... Oh, well, there's a Snuff Out. So they have 0 cards in hand. They have 4 things in play and I don't. So what are we looking to draw here? I guess I just play the Trop. This one's not looking good, but I'm going to be really happy to have my Veils on the sideboard. I play 1 league and I'm already kind of over it. I don't know how people play multiple leagues. Okay. So at least drawing this tropical island here lets me not be completely dead to the Stalker killing my last permanent. Alright, so... not a bad draw. I think I'm going to attack for 1. I'm already vulnerable to Orcish Bowmasters as it is. I don't really feel too nervous. I'll play the Pendelhaven out because it's a pretty good pump spell. It also helps me kind of protect a little bit against something like a Bowmaster or the Stalker. If I end up drawing a Glistener Elf off the top. Stalker's looking good here. It's pretty nice that these blue-black decks have a decent turn 1 threat that can grow and has other text to kind of be alongside Dragon's Rage Channeler, or like be the black version of Dragon's Rage Channeler, so people aren't automatically funneled into only playing blue-red. Yeah, I think they're deciding if they wanted to kill the noble. Voidwalker. Okay. That's pretty good for them. That's going to increase the clock by a lot. It puts down... Okay. I am going to attack. I'm going to hold the Misty Rainforest in my hand, though. Holding the Misty because if I draw something like a Brainstorm here, I can put it away. I don't think I need another mana source in play yet. Looks like I'm going to be taking 5, go to 9. And Biggin. so here's a Bowmaster. I think this one's done. Because now they get to kill the Noble, attack in for 5, 6, 7. Put me to 2. And I'm not going to be able to play a creature this turn, so we're just going to go the next one. Okay. So what are we doing? We're bringing in Veils, and this is a Delver-esque matchup, so I think I want to bring in the Plows. I want to see how that goes. I'm also considering the Sylvan Library, just because this game's probably going to go a lot longer post-board. So I think I'm going to cut 1 Embiggen, 2 Berserks at the very least. The reflex is looking pretty good here. We're on the play. So I need 4 more cuts. I think I can trim a force. I think I'm going to cut 2 forces. I think they're actually pretty poor in this matchup, especially against these Grief Reanimate starts. And the Plows kind of clean up a lot of that mess. So let's get these out. Got 2 more cuts. I'll cut another Embiggen because I think I want to be a little bit more Delvery this game. And what else should I cut? I'm going to leave in 2 forces because they're probably going to come in clutch at some point. I want to leave in the Dazes. These are not disadvantage. It might just be cut a 3rd force. Cut. So we've cut 2 Embiggen. Oh, it might be leaving this, cut another Embiggen. Leave 1 Embiggen so we have 5 +4/+4s. It's really awkward because they only counter the Bowmasters. They don't counter things like Snuff Out. So I think we're going to go with this, just the Singleton Embiggen. I'm not confident on this one, but we'll see how it goes. The Veils are probably going to look pretty good here, obviously. The blue-black hate card looking good against the Underground Sea deck. Just waiting for my opponent to register or submit their deck. Probably deciding how many Plague Engineers to bring in, or wishing they had more. Naming Phyrexian's pretty good. I've had it happen to me last time they had all access. I was going to say, I submitted, right? So I'm going to play first. No colored source, but a hand of pretty good cards. So we're going to mulligan. All right, we're going to mulligan again because there's no lands. We're going to go to 5. This is going to be a rough one. We're going to keep. I'm going to put the uncastable on the bottom. And we're going to put reflexes on the bottom because I have nothing to target. So we're going to call it done. And I'm just going to play Tropical Island, and I'm going to yield to the next end step. So I get to hold up Veil Summer against a turn 1 Grief now. Uh-oh. I think I'll float blue and Brainstorm here. Only because I'm pretty desperate. I'm kind of hoping they force the Brainstorm and I get to daze it. I could also daze my own Brainstorm if I was holding control. Wow. I can't believe I get to do this. This is incredible. Okay. So we are very suddenly back in the game. Unless they force me back again. So they can't pay for the days, so the force is going to get countered. The days got to put the trop back in my hand, and I'm going to get the brainstorm. So we're going to put... What do I want to play? I'm going to put Tropical Island back. Do I want to play Noble? Or do I want to hold up Veil? I think I'm going to hold up Veil because that's the easiest way to lose here. So I'm going to put Tropical Island back. And Noble. Okay, so there's Grief, so they get to take only one Veil. So that's fine. Which is also why I kept the doubles, because now they only have really no choice. I made the choice for them. Alright, so we're going to go to my turn. I know the next card is a Tropical Island, so I'm going to play the Windswept Heath here. If I have to Veil, I'll shuffle it away. But I want to make sure I don't die to Reanimate on Grief. Begin combat. Okay, so since they played a Wasteland, I think I'm going to decline to shuffle with this. I want to get another land here. But I do have a Noble, so I don't know. But I'm pretty vulnerable to like a Bowmaster, so I think I'm just going to try and have the mana sources. Alright, yeah, so we're going to play Trop here. Noble. They know about this Veil. And I'm going to leave this kind of protected. There's no way they'd go for a Veil here, though. I'm wondering if they just don't have another land. Wow, it doesn't look like they do. Alright, so we drew Plow. We're going to play the Pendelhaven. And I don't think I want to attack. I just want to be able to hold up a white source here. So he's just skipping through his turn. So I'm going to get a draw card. He has 5 cards in hand now, by the way. Another yield to my end step. Another staring contest game. Notably also only as a Wasteland. Doesn't even have a colored mana to play with a Ponder. Draw. Alright, Catacombs. I'm going to hold that in my hand so I can brainstorm it away. Delta. This is where I wish I could stifle them. Underground Sea. Ponder. Yep. Okay, so they can finally cast their blue cards. Okay. Draw. Another Plow. I wonder if I should have been attacking the entire time. I think I'm still fine. I think this is still going to be win via poison game. They've got a long ways to go to catch up. They also shuffled off the ponder. So they're looking for something pretty specific. I'm thinking it's a third land. Stalker. I don't think I'm going to get rid of this guy yet. All right. Do I want to expose the Ink Moth to the Wasteland? They're pretty choked on mana sources, so I'm thinking I'm fine with it. No attacks. Do I want to get the Stalker now? Nope. Not yet. They can attack, though. I wonder if this is trying to induce me into... No, I can't block with the Ink Moth. It has Menace. I'll take one. End step. So there's 7. It's a lot. Okay, so I get to play Ponder now. We're gonna go Ponder. Try and find a Legolas. Got a... I want to play the Agent. So I'm going to put the Force on the bottom. Ink Moth below that. Agent on top. I'm not going to shuffle. I'm going to draw the Agent. I'm going to... just play the Agent so I have multiple Infect creatures in play. So this Wasteland is a little neutered. The Pendelhaven's able to protect the Agent. I wanted to be able to induce an attack with the Ink Moth Nexus. You make them use the Wasteland and then just play the Agent immediately after. Pre-combat, yep. And paying costs. What are we doing? Bowmaster. I think I'm going to fetch here. Go get... I don't want to expose the Savannah yet, so I'm going to get a second Trop. I'm just going to Veil this. I don't think this is the best use of a Veil, but I want to keep my Pendelhaven up. Actually, I should have used the Pendelhaven. Just let them have the other creature. Because this can block a Snuff out. Yeah. I messed that up. Get a card. Yeah, I definitely messed up that sequence. And I got a Reflex, which isn't bad. This is going to get countered, so their clock is pretty poor. Yeah, I definitely just should have used the Pendelhaven. That's very frustrating. Especially when I have the Bladed Agent who doesn't care about the extra body. I guess he's trying to figure out what he can target, which is himself. Yeah, which doesn't really matter. I wonder if he's going to use the Wasteland now or he's going to let me untap. I feel like I threw this game away already. Alright, he's going to Wasteland. And I don't have another green. Otherwise, I would be able to animate it and Legolas it. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, step. Another Legolas. Really need a creature. No attacks. Fetch. Do I plow the Stalker now? Just to get rid of the removal spell? It's really tough. I think I just let them have it. I think the Legolas lets me fight through that kind of thing, so I really need to use the plows on the things that are going to be a fast clock. If they ever attack for 3, I might do it. Attack with everything. Go to 11. I can buy a lot of time if I can just plow this. Because I have a second one, so I'm not completely cold to just second threat. Oh, I didn't even realize they played another land. I think they're deciding if they want to commit an entire turn to activating the Stalker. Yeah, if I was going to do this, I should have just did it in the upkeep. Looks like they are. What do I want to use here? Do I just want to let it go? I think I can just let it go. Ponder. See what I can find. Okay. Noble on the bottom. Days. Elf. No shuffle. Elf is what I was looking for. It's fine. Yep, it's fine. Play the elf. We have reflex up. So, along with Pendelhaven. Okay. Next card is going to be a Daze, which is going to give us a decent amount of leeway. Daze and a Noble. So I can also shuffle them away looking for another pump spell to try and just make this game get over with. I don't think they're going to attack this time. So I can block and use the Pendelhaven. Which I will do. So I think I have to take a risk. Take 2, go to 10. they doing? Full price dismember. I guess they don't want to get too blown out or turn off their snuff outs. I think I'm going to get the Savannah here. Just reflex this. Gets the Bowmaster off the table. I wanted to shuffle anyway because I don't really want Daze anymore in this position or Noble. We're going to counter that. I'm going to get my pump. I'm going to block the Bowmaster, take 2, go to 9. Stalker. I kind of thought they had another 1 mana card. Okay, so they descended because the Bowmaster died. End step. My turn, drew a Misty. Not ideal. I don't think I want to give them the option to block here. So I think I'm just going to plow this, especially since this is also going to be a removal spell the following turn. What are they doing? They're forcing this. Okay. So this is fine, but what is this going to make me do? So I can attack, see if they block Pendelhaven. I guess I can hold up the Pendelhaven regardless. Okay. We're going to attack. If they block at Pendelhaven, I don't think they're going to block, though. So they have not blocked. Do I want to Pendelhaven here? Do I want to save this? I think I need to save this. Because I want to get in for 1. Because base 1, and then I have 2 +4/+4s in the deck. Or I have some number of +4s/+4s in the deck. So as long as they're at 1, I can deal 9. The Pendelhaven kind of ensures that I don't get got by the Stalker this turn. Well, they could, in the end step, if they manage to descend, they could activate while there's 3 counters before I get my turn. They're definitely just going to attack here. They only have 2 cards in their hand. They pitched a Brainstorm or a Dress Down, it looks like. Block, no blocks. I'm at 5. So it's getting tight. They didn't descend. I drew an Ink Moth. So I can attack. I kind of want to lessen the clock because it's getting really iffy. So I'm going to invigorate. I think I'm going to invigorate on the elf. If they activate in response, I get to Pendelhaven. So I don't think they will. Doing all this pre-combat because if they manage to, if they pick a fight over this with removal, I get to reflex it. And then I get an attack trigger as well. And I think this is kind of a dynamic that people aren't as in tune with. So I'm going to... I need to get something off the table. So I'm going to reflex this so I get to take the Stalker off the table and try and win the race, especially since I have an Ink Moth in my hand now. So I'm gonna attack. Target the stalker. They just want to let this go. They can't really target anything with it. They can't activate it in response. So they're going to take 5. They're going to go to 6. I'm going to play the Ink Moth. Now the Ink Moth can, with the Pendelhaven, block the army. And the Ink Moth can race back. They don't have a Wasteland over there. They've used 1, 2. They're on 2 cards in hand. It's a really close race. I think I have the advantage on defense now. They would have to have just drawn an Orcish Bowmasters here in order to make this Orc army kind of contest the Ink Moth. If they attack, I'm going to call their bluff, because I know they didn't have on the previous turn, or they would have killed the Glistener Elf with the Invigorate on the stack. Or maybe not. Okay, Void Walker, that's going to be pretty good at helping win the race. I have 3 damage on the table, so I can't really go all in yet. I don't want to use this Misty. They're deciding if they want to attack. I will just block. They must have something in their hand that makes them actually... I don't think I can take this because I immediately died to the Void Walker the following turn. So we're going to make a green. We're going to animate. Block. Pump. Okay, go to damage. Do I just get Bowmastered? I don't think so. I still don't think they have it. I think they just had to hope that I was playing scared. So now I can attack for 3. Because Shadow makes it so they can't block unless they play a Dress Down. In which case, I can use the Pendelhaven just to make it trade. I can also just daze it. I wonder if that's what they were thinking about. Okay, so... use the Pendelhaven here on the Glistener Elf because I know they can't really stop it. I think there's a correct thing to use the Pendelhaven on here, but I just don't know it. And I don't think I have the clock to figure it out. Are they gonna Orc? Petty Theft. I will... Okay, so this is why there was a correct decision. We're gonna daze. They're gonna go to 9. Post-combat, I'm gonna play this island. I think I'm gonna end up timing out here because I'm just not clicking quickly. So as long as I can enter combat, I can... They're gonna ponder. I think they're gonna shuffle. This is definitely one of those games that would be a lot faster and a lot easier to play if I was in person. My MTGO mechanics are definitely hurting me here. Chooses not to shuffle. Bowmaster. Fine. It's fine. So this has to be the card they either found. They found because they probably drew the Ponder for turn. And they still can't block the flyer. So we're going to yield to the next end step. Because I only have Daze and I have Glistener Elf. Okay, main. And, yep. All right. Do I want to do anything on the draw? I think because I have 5 minutes left, I have to kind of change my strategy. I have to cut a lot of this stuff now. And I think I have to go back to almost a game 1 configuration, but with Veils. So I think I'm going to go 2 Embiggen, 2 Berserk, all 4 Invigorate, 4 Forces, 4 Days, 2 Veil. I don't think this is normally what I would do on the draw, but I think because I have fewer than 5 minutes, I have to kind of hope for the best. And this is pretty decent. By pretty decent, I mean it's fine. It's not very fast. It's not really kind of going with my game plan for this game 3 with 5 minutes, but I think I just have to keep all my resources in this Grief matchup. They kept 7, it looks like, so they mulligan to 6, okay. They mulligan to 5, okay. They might just be looking to play to the clock at this point if their 5-card hand is not super great, so I'm just going to have to go as fast as I can. Delta. Grief? Sure. It's probably as good of a hand as they can hope for. So they're probably going to take Elf here if they ever reanimate. Okay, no reanimate. So it makes me think they have a Snuff Out. Ponder. So I'm going to go... I think I'm just going to Ponder so I can potentially... Alright, Pendelhaven, Blighted Agent, Misty. So we're going to put Misty on the bottom. We're going to put Blighted Agent right below that. And we're going to put Pendelhaven right on top to draw. And we're not going to shuffle. Alright, so I'm going to... pass. Next turn I'm going to try, because I think they have a Snuff Out, I'm going to try and play Glistener Elf with Protection. Not being able to use Protection as Daze this turn because they're going to be able to get an Underground Sea. Okay. Yep, that's fine. An Evoked Grief, again, fine. Not ideal, but fine. They have 0 cards in their hand. I have 2 Infect creatures. It's fine. Okay, so we're going to play this. Draw. Brainstorm. Good to see. Gonna brainstorm here. We got a Berserk, which isn't bad. We're gonna put Savannah, Misty back. Play Catacomb. Fetch. Tropical Island. I have to start clocking them. Blue. Animate. Attack. +2. Upkeep. Main. Combat. I'm going to be doing the same thing, I think. We got the shuffle, so we have a chance to animate. I get one more regular attack like that, and then I can use the Berserk. Hoping I draw another mana source. Alright, great. I'm going to sandbag this for a moment. Days here. Because I don't want to give them any information. I also don't want them to take the Berserk or the reflexes. Force. They're really low. Choose target spell. I'll just force this. Pitch this. I'm going to just draw Invigorate and make this easy. Not much they can draw to here to get out of this, so I'm just going to play this. I would have went for the kill if I played this the previous turn, so I was able to daze, but I definitely made a mistake there. Okay, got there. Alright, so 2 more matches. Oh man, it's 10 o'clock already. I might be cutting this one short. I might finish this up tomorrow night, but then that's going to be my last league. Because the access ends, but I think I really got to call it. No streamer stamina yet, especially playing something like MTGO. So yeah, I'm going to call it there for tonight. I will finish this up probably tomorrow, and then I don't know what I'm going to do after that. Might play a little standard on Arena, or might just make it a short stream, just wrapping up the loose ends. So, thanks for coming and hanging out. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I didn't play too poorly or drone on too hard, but I will see you to finish this up tomorrow.